does. He does.
Prediction? Yes, prediction. Pain.
Are you ready? I was born ready.
Obviously, you're a little, aggravated by the line of questioning regarding Canelo.
I don't want to touch this, do it so bad. I don't want to touch his name.
I'm working on feeling the art of humbleness. Can you be with me? That's the reason why I'm crying, because I'm not that person no more. And I miss him. But sometimes I feel like a bitch. I don't want that person to come out, because when he comes out, hell is coming with him. And it's not funny at all. It must sound cool, like I'm a tough guy. It's just I hate that I'm scared.
It would be awesome to, being a great warrior, maybe with a Mexican.
Oh! Let's go! Wait, pop!
I have to put the joke.
No, hey.
Thank you. Perfect for playing, man. I appreciate
Good
you.
timing, man.
Can't put predictions, man, but I definitely don't want to leave it to the judges.
Estamos en vivo, damas y caballeros. We are Long Live Boxing en Vivo podcast. Como siempre, Manny Marrero.
Sean El Gringo Hicksa.
Hopper.
Breaking it down like it is. Like it should be.
Como debe de ser.
Episode 80.
80.
In the house. We got to do something. Really, honestly, guys, we got to do something when we get to 100.
Primeramente Dios.
If we just have a show, that'd be impressive to me.
We will. I mean, we made it so far.
I
bro.
have
Definitely.
so
made it
little
so
hope.
far. I mean, think about it a year ago. A year ago, we had a special guest. We're breaking down some of the things that some of those Puerto Rican fighters that are actually
Puerto
popping
Rican
up.
prospects.
Out of a sudden, it's like popcorns. They're like popping
everywhere.
up. Right?
You had me at popcorn.
You had me a popcorn.
Absolutely. That was a great
30
episode.
seconds for a food reference.
Daddy's ready for dinner.
I was going to say we can do a quick 100 and have some tablitas.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Spider won't mind. Right, Spider?
There's actually a grill under the table. So
Is it really?
No, in my dreams. So
You dream too?
I dream in color and in food. So I'm a genius and I'm hungry. That's what that means.
But you talked about a special guest last year.
I sure did.
was
Talked
it?
about. Actually, we had him last year, episode 26.
do I
Ladies
know
and gentlemen,
him?
he is. Who is he? He is
he
Willie. Cano Loco Sports Ortiz. Bienvenido.
Hey!
Welcome back to the show, bro.
Back, hermano.
What's up, brother?
Been a long time, man. All is good. It's been a great year, man. I tell you, man. So it's good to sit down again with y'all and get to talk some more boxing again, man.
We love it.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
And it was an honor to have you on then and an honor to have you on now. And also, when we talk about the growth and things that we've seen in boxing, not just from, the success of your channel and shout out to the great things you're doing as far as promoting young fighters and helping, really raise awareness around the beautiful fighters that are in the island. It's very impressive. And you're also raising the awareness of female boxing as well.
Yeah.
So shout out to that as well.
Indeed.
So much has changed, my brother, and that's why my brother Manny wanted to have you on as far as a positive. I think that we went from talking about the wave starting that I think we're actually in it. Kind of what's your thoughts as far as when I say the wave of talent of Puerto Rican boxers? How does it feel right now to you? I know you want more, because that's what makes you Cano, but do you feel like we're in a positive?
It's a tsunami.
Yeah.
We're in a positive side of things as far as the growth of the talent wave of Puerto Rican boxing?
Listen, the talent wave is tremendously enormous right now.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing that concerns me is how disciplined and focused these boxers are going to stay, because a lot of times we get these prospects that are going to look like the shining star, and then they somehow lose focus, man, and bam, then again, it's all gone. I think what's different in this wave is that I'm seeing a lot more maturity out of some of these young fighters, and I'm seeing that they're staying hungry, staying in the gym, doing the right things. And like Brian Polaco, he lives in Puerto Rico, but when he's getting ready for a fight, he'll travel over to Daytona Beach and train with JM, who I know, great guy. And so he'll do that whole training camp over there. And JM's wife will smack Polaco in the back of the head.
That's what you need. That's what you need, though.
Hell, I need that.
You need somebody.
Omar Rosario, who, listen, I don't have Brian Polaco. We'll talk about the top 5 later. Right. I don't have them there quite yet because they're only like 2 or 3 fights in.
Right.
But I can see them cracking that list here
real soon.
No, that's great because, that was another thing that we did touch on, and I'm glad you did mention that. Shout out to Brian Polaco. So that we are not just dealing with young prospects, but we're talking about people that are fringe contenders and also people that are contenders and also
on the door,
really, really making their presence known. So that's obviously very exciting, and it's, well, I mean, we're on the precipice of greatness to me. I mean, this is a golden era, so to speak, from the standpoint of the potential of it. But as you said, El Cano, and put it so well,
it's all about focus.
It really is all about the execution and the focus that they have, because as we have potential and excitement and all these things are looking really well, it can fall apart, if there's not that follow through and that commitment. But I feel with the fighters, and we've had the pleasure of interviewing a lot. I mean, not as many as you, but we had the privilege of interviewing several, and Spiders even said it. I mean, we've all said it. Very, not just impressive in the ring, but very just great people.
Very polished.
Just outside the ring, I think it's a lack of champions and the lack of that we have for quite some time now. It's we get all these kids that are coming up and they're very hungry, just like you said, and they have a different mentality. They know that they can be corrupted at any given point, and I think they come with the mindset like, listen, we know how hard we need to work, and I think also it also involves the people that are around them. I mean, you can get stardom immediately and quickly, but that can actually completely, be torn apart in just a few seconds. And we've seen that. And I think that's why this generation, I believe, it's going to be different from any other generation.
Me too, Manny. And you kind of touched on it a little bit, is because I think this era, and we have talked to quite a few of them, they're just polished and they think differently. And I think they understand that, hey, the island needs you. It's expecting great things from you, because it's time to get the island back on top, where it belongs in terms of multiple champions scattered out throughout multiple divisions. And when we talk to some of these guys, you can see it. You can see that the focus is there. You can see that the determination is there. The hunger is there, and especially with Xander. I mean, I guess that's where I want to start with Xander, just because I'm wearing the shirt. So. But no, yeah, and this is an exciting time to watch just all the Puerto Rican prospects that are, and we'll talk about the April 24th card that's coming up.
So we got a lot of stuff that we're talking about today, ladies and gentlemen. We are EnVivo podcast with Cano Loco Sports. You got to check him out. This guy's doing a lot of things. He's got his new podcast also every Thursday. Cano, talk to us a little bit about this new concept that you're bringing in. You open up the platform for having some chat with fans and things like that. How's that working?
It's working out pretty great, man. I got with LongLiveBoxing, man. I figured, once a week, I needed to go ahead and change the pace and get a live show going, even if it's once a week. Another individual put me in contact with LongLiveBoxing. They said that we would be a good match and that we should do a show at least once a week. And I said, sure, let's go for it, because I've been doing a lot of uploads and interviews, and I'm like, man, I need to have something at least once a week where we could just talk boxing and I can have somebody as a co-host, And what I've been doing also in between them shows, I'll bring in certain professional fighters and have them come on and chop it up with us for a little bit and stuff like that. And it's been working out great, man. Now, listen, man, I know I've done a lot of interviews, but that's never been my bread and butter. That's never been my go-to. Those things happen. They're just like extra curriculum for me. Right. I don't really want to rely on them or depend on them, but I see the need. So I'm trying to mix it up to where I'm versatile within my channel, so they're not just getting one type of upload or something like that, like, a pre-fight prediction or a post-fight reaction. Right. Let me give them something more. That way they can get a broad channel that's covering boxing from all different angles and doing some interviews sprinkled in here and there. So it's been working out great.
And that's good, because anything about when you want to talk boxing, and you always want to have some time to do that. And ladies and gentlemen, that is fully loaded. It is Boxing Talk with Cano Loco Sports. Check him out. He is doing amazing things. You actually just reached a milestone with YouTube, man. How, just talk to us a little bit about your excitement in terms of how you progressed in a year ago. I mean, even before that, because you've been doing this for quite some time. But you were successful the last year since we've met you. It's been crazy. Even your partnership with Dorian DV Tracksuits.
Yeah, DV Tracksuits has been great, man. They're like my sponsor of the show, man. And actually, man, now that you bring up DV Tracksuits, If you mention Cano Loco Sports 10, you'll get a 10% discount on any of the DV tracksuits that you order. So if you mention Cano Loco Sports and the number 10,
let me write that down. Say it slower.
All right, write that down because I might want to get me a red, white, and green one.
Red, white, and green. Why?
Yeah, we
actually
actually
Mexican.
Just random colors that occur to me.
Just that.
In a certain order,
a certain sequence.
You know, me and Dorian, we met at the fights. You know, I was meeting somebody else that knows him at the fights, and he just happens to be with them. So we all kind of met at the hotel with Capo Gonzalez and Moncho Lebron right there. Before we even got to the stadium, we was actually in the parking lot, you know, just shooting the stuff, you know, stuff like that. And he was showing me the track suits and stuff. And at that point, he was only making it for Orlando Gonzalez and Moncho Lebron.
Right.
So I suggested to him, hey, man, you should make that available to the rest of the boxers, you know? And, you know, let me think about it. And then one thing led to another. Now he's got it open to where anybody can get him.
He's got a Mexican boxer now. Hopper.
Several.
Yeah, he's got one of your boys out there.
Nice.
He's got Abel Ramos. He's got Jesus Ramos Jr. He's got Kendo Castaneda.
Yep.
He's got Sule Urbina.
Yeah, she's got probably my favorite suit. Her and the new Capo Gonzalez, the gold one.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Yeah, Omar Rosario, that was pretty good. Isn't it? That's one of the.
That's the thing. There's so many.
Isn't it Benavides, right?
I think so. I think that's just a rumor. I'm not sure about that one.
I don't know if that one's. I don't know. I'm not at liberty to say if that's going on or not yet. But as far as the success, look, I didn't expect it. Okay, I guess what I could tell people is, man, when you're doing something like this, just keep doing what you're doing.
Exactly.
When you're doing what you love,
you know, and improving it, man.
You're doing what you love.
One day at a time,
passion,
and keep grinding.
You'll never work a day in your life.
Exactly. And
man, I'm off for that.
It grew without me even really realizing it, to be honest. It kind of like caught me from surprise, but it's good because it does make you feel good because it's like, dang, you know, I'm putting in all this work and finally somebody's noticing it and they're accepting of it and stuff like that. So, yeah, it feels good, you know. There's still a lot of work to do, though.
And
you don't, there's always room for more growth.
Keep grinding and keep grinding, and anything about boxing. And you know, it's a pleasure to have you back again, man. And you know, I want to start talking boxing. I know last time we had a discussion about, you know, the top five
Puerto Rican
prospects.
You had to go to the hospital last time.
At that time, I was struggling a lot to find. I mean, I was praising McWilliams Arroyo at that time. Hopefully that he would be able to, right? We couldn't find anyone else. They embarrassed me here in one of them shows. But, you know, then we saw the light at the end of the tunnel. We got a lot of prospect. And I wanted to ask you, Cano, you know, if you want to go ahead and review your last year's list, but has anything changed within your list and who's out there, who's been out from your list? Maybe it could have gone from the prospect to a contender level, or maybe it's just you felt like there's another prospect that actually is emerging and deserves the right to be at the Cano Loco Sports list.
That's great.
Well, I don't remember exactly who my top 5 was last year, to be honest with you, but I could tell you from the top of my head, my top 5 right now, effective immediately.
All right.
Well, that would be Capo Gonzalez, number 1. Now, the caveat with Capo Gonzalez is after his next fight, I'm moving him to a contender, so he won't be on that list after April 24th. Contingent on him winning, obviously, right?
Right.
Absolutely, which he will.
Yep.
And I'll
Edgar
go ahead.
Berlanga, number 2.
All right.
Now, he's after this fight, I'm going to move him out of that list as well. But as of today, Berlanga, number 2. I got Henry Moncho Lebron at number 3. He's still young, so he'll probably still stick around, maybe even move up. Xander Zayas, I got at number 4. Now, I love Xander Zayas a lot.
Whoa, that offended me right there. My heart.
No,
my heart.
I think you kept him that way. You had him 3 last time, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Talk about the passport, Manny.
I just don't want to put that kind of pressure on that young man yet, okay? It's a method to my madness. Is more of a chess thing than a checkers, you know?
Definitely.
That I want to kind of put him on the top 5 because he is deserving to be on the top 5. But too many people are just hounding him and stuff. And I'm like, you know, let him
like wearing his shirts and stuff. And
you know, let me put him at number 4, man, to where, you know, he'll keep that chip on his shoulder type of thing, you know? Maybe it'll motivate him to, you know, go in there and push even harder, even though I don't even think he needs motivation. But you know what I'm getting at, man.
Definitely.
Brother, definitely.
At number 5, man, look, I gotta squeeze in. Man, I gotta squeeze in my boy Nestor Bravo. Although after, once he fights again, I think I got it. See, this list is as of today.
As of today,
right?
April 24th, everything is gonna re-scramble again. I'm not sure when Nesta Bravo is fighting again, but once he does, I gotta start moving him out of the list. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, absolutely.
Honorary mentions. I'm gonna mention Omar Rosario, Brian Polaco, Carlos Caraballo.
Great fight, his last fight.
Goodness, I'm missing somebody here. Jose Arieta, Carlos Arieta at 122.
Right.
So there's names on there that I may not mention, but I do believe in them as well.
Which is the one that you most like? You're like, wow, this guy just you kind of know about them. They started their pro debut, and they're doing amazing right now. That you feel like this guy's going to make a huge impact from I would say not from the earlier class, but maybe there's a recent one that is actually coming out in the pros.
Brian Polaco and Omar Rosario. My goodness. I mean, Omar Rosario has such a beautiful boxing game. Yeah. I just can't help but admire the way he goes into that ring and utilizes all of the tools in the bag, at such a young part of his career.
Mm-hmm.
I got to mention him like that. And Brian Polaco, can I just say he's a monster?
And that's what I was going to say, man. At the 154-pound, him fighting at that middleweight, and he's still, he's still young. And he's a beast. Like you said, he's big. And then he's got this, he's not an angry person, right? But don't mess with him, and he'll show that in the ring. He'll take the, he'll unzip himself and I'm going to destroy who I have in front of me. And it's pretty, it's just impressive.
Yeah, that's crazy. And actually, I do remember what we had last time. And some of the names we haven't mentioned, I guess that shows the depth of quality that's out there. I mean, we haven't mentioned Supernova, even though we went back and forth of him being, clearly
I think he's now more of a contender.
He's definitely more a contender. He was back then too, but I just wanted to put him on the list. And also the Adorno brothers.
Both of them, 4th and 5.
Right. So I remember we touched on them last time. They're going to be both of them are going to be on that magnificent card. The one that's going to be in Kissimmee, Florida on the 24th. Don't miss it. And I guess that again speaks to the wave, the plethora of talent, and the immense depth of that talent. And then you're mentioning guys that are even younger and that people may not be as aware of, but definitely exciting. We had the honor of interviewing both Omar Rosario and Brian Polaco, the Hunter, and I was impressed with both of those guys immensely in and outside the ring. The way they carry themselves, and the potential, like you said, is sky's the limit. So it's again all about the execution at this point. So you said that
if it was a top 10, they would have been on it.
Oh yeah.
No doubt
no doubt about that. So you mentioned the fact that you wanted to make sure to get Nestor Bravo in there, and the next time he get his fight, and things kind of shaken up after the April 24th date. How important is that date as far as kind of showing you the level that this wave we're discussing can go to? We see that there's potential, but can it go to maybe contender championship level, maybe even faster than we're giving it credit for?
Well, yeah, man. Geez, you got 8 fighters fighting that are Puerto Rican in that fight.
Only one has one loss. The rest of them are undefeated.
And the one that has one loss is one of my favorites.
Right.
Josue Vargas, right? Josue Vargas is the one that has a loss?
Wait a minute.
No, not Josue Vargas.
Pitufo Diaz got 2 losses.
No. Yeah, but besides
he's
the main event,
though. Yeah.
Besides the main event, he's the main event. But I'm saying on the undercard, the rest of the Puerto Ricans.
It's a draw. If he was talking about that, I think
Adorno
has a draw.
Yeah.
Josue Vargas was actually a disqualification that shouldn't have been.
Right.
There you go,
Josue
Vargas. That's what I'm saying. But he still had the loss in there.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be, but
shouldn't have been. That was terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's 18-1, but I mean it's going to be an awesome card, and we'll talk about it a little bit more after we finish off. But I really want to hear what this is the list of Cano Loco, and it makes sense though, and we appreciate that because I know how connected you are to these boxers, and also how involved you are, and I'm sure you're going to be there the 24th of April. Unfortunately,
ringside.
I'm still.
We're going to see you on TV, brother.
I'm still waiting. I'm probably going to see you on TV
4K.
as well.
Are you going to link up with? Are you going to link up with my boy Brandon? Brandon Dietrich.
It'll be me, Brandon, David, and Dodian, the maker of DV Tracks. So we're all going to be in on ringside. We bought the tickets together as a group of 4.
That's awesome.
All right.
Wow.
Nice.
Who's going to be the flyest of the group?
I mean, of course, that's gonna be me.
Keep it humble, my brother.
Keep it humble.
That's as humble as I can be.
Yeah, that microphone got him feeling himself. But no, that's the thing, man. Like seriously, I'm not even trying to put my brother on the spot, but like we were all collectively, we bust his balls, but we have got great love for him.
I don't.
Well, everyone knows that Hopper's a hater, but seriously, we were devastated when he wasn't able to make it to that fight because when the fight got announced as far as the card, and then they had the big announcement about 2-3 weeks ago in regards of the the names on the card, and name after name after name. It was just mind blowing. And then that was before they even named the announcement of the opponents for the undercard. So that card is a monster card. I mean, it's I think people don't understand the depth of quality. If you're a fan of boxing, you should be excited for this card, not just whether you're Puerto Rican or not.
Well, I mean, in the location too. It's it's Kissimmee, and Kissimmee is Puerto Rico.
It's sold out. Yeah.
Yep, it is sold out. I was still actually trying to get tickets, but they were trying to make me buy 4 at a time, and then I just
Well, they got it. They had it in group of 4s and group of 2s.
They went a group of 4s, then it went a group of 6, and I'm like, wow, I didn't buy 4. I'm not gonna buy 6 now. So I'm hoping I can probably last minute maybe someone just says I can't go, and they'll just start selling them whatever, maybe.
It'll
hopefully.
be super high though.
I know. Unfortunately, but it's gonna be a great card. We'll touch base right now. But Sean, has anything changed out of your Puerto Rican list?
Well, yeah. Actually, it was touched on by O'Connell that the fact that I was forcing the issue of having Supernova be on there just because I wanted to talk about him and make sure to get his name out there. But he's doing a good job of that, of just, putting his name out there on social media. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
Abraham Supernova.
Yep. Fast recovery.
Yeah, definitely.
I think you did sprained an ankle or something like that?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, from my list, it's pretty much the same. The difference would be is that I have Nestor Bravo in there replacing Abraham Supernova. I mean, I'm really big on the way that Nestor Bravo performed. I mean, I remember like it was yesterday, that Wednesday card, he was the main event. It kind of came out of nowhere for me, so it was great. So, yeah, that was definitely exciting for me for sure.
Nice. You still got the top one, same?
Whatever. Is everything else the same, Gringo?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Xander,
So, like,
Berlanga,
yeah, completely. Like, I totally get what you're coming from, El Cano. Don't want to put pressure on him, but damn it, I know what I know, and I know what I see, and I see his greatness, and I'm really impressed with, Xander Zayas. Obviously, he's the man. He was my number 1. That stays number 1. I did an article piece on that, which is on our website, LongLiveBoxing.com.
Check it out.
It's still there, and people are still reading it. So hey, but yeah, definitely. There's been no change there, but I will say, a lot of my perception will become reality on April 24th. I mean, that could totally shift. In fact, I know it's going to shift everything. And also on top of that, I think it was called out before. Shout out to you, O'Connell, that it was a discredit to just stick it to a top 5. And, I was like, yeah, whatever. But, if ever we were to kind of go that route again, it would have to be a top 10. Because there's too many guys and it's too close. And I don't want people to feel slighted. And, you can only have, so many honorable mentionable people.
You can switch the spots on it and you won't be wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, and not feel bad about it at all. I mean, that's the thing. And I think that's also a testament to the quality of depth of talent too. Right? That, it shows you that it's deep, yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Interesting. Hopper. It ain't no Mexicans, right? So it's just Puerto Ricans.
Number 1.
Number 1.
All right, no.
Number 5.
I'll start with number 5. I have Omar Rosario. My list is completely different than my last list. My last day I had number 5 and 4, the Adorno brothers, Jeremy and Joseph. Number 3 I had Xander. Number 2 I had Supernova. Number 1 I had Berlanga. So my list this year is completely different. Number 5 Omar Rosario. Number 4 Monchi Lebron. Number 3 Capo Gonzalez. Number 2 Edgar Berlanga. And number 1, you already know, Xander Zayas. That's why I have number one.
How did I not know that?
You could have won some money if you gambled and bet on that. That was easily going to be my number one.
Pom-poms at? I see the shirt. Where's the pom-poms at?
That's coming.
They're under the table, man.
They're here, ready to go
under the
for the
table.
start. Give me an X. Give me an X. But no, definitely Xander Zayas. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The takeover is coming with Xander. He's going to be on top of the game in whatever division that he's at. He's going to be a unified champion. He's going to. I can't wait. I can't wait to see this man and bigger fights. Right now, he's just beating everybody up that they put in front of him. And Berlanga too. Berlanga is on the precipice of a championship fight. He's right there. He's knocking on the door. He wants to headline his own event already.
I know,
and he probably should.
And then after that, he's already thinking a fight sometime in September or something like that, which he's going to go to the 10th round. So I mean, he's out there. I mean, if you think about it right now, he's probably about 4 fights before he probably goes to a interim or something like that.
And then he's with the great promotional company.
I think he's going to fight again in the Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the parade. Yeah, I think
that's what Shakur headlining, right? The one Shakur's headlining.
No,
the one. Yeah. Okay, the one June 12th.
Can I ask you about that, Cano? How do you feel about Shakur? Do you embrace him as a half Puerto Rican?
I do.
Shakur Stevenson.
I do.
This guy, his dad's Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Yeah, may he rest in peace because his dad did pass away. But yes.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's why people don't really recognize. And they're probably thinking right now that he's just coming out and trying to be Puerto Rican to grab attention.
Manny, do you guys, do you embrace Shakur?
I mean, those who know and understand, I mean, it's fine. I mean, people were starting to embrace Danny Garcia years later, and he didn't do a good job by that.
You got the clip ready, Spider? No, you don't have that clip ready? Oh,
we played it last week.
Hey, Cano, do you remember when Danny went to Puerto Rico and he tried
against Herrera?
Against Marisa Herrera, and after the fight, he tried to speak Spanish. Never spoke Spanish again.
That doesn't go over well, man. But back to Shakur real quick, man. For those who don't embrace it, man, it's really not gonna matter, man. His talent speaks for itself, man. He's gonna be a great either way.
And he doesn't need the exposure, right, to say I'm Puerto Rican to grab the attention of some of the fight. I mean, we all saw when he fought La Sombra, starting with Top Ranks, and Puerto Ricans were watching that fight, and those who knew know exactly the story, on Shakur, they know, and they'll embrace him, and there's talent. A lot of Puerto Rican, even a lot of Puerto Ricans didn't know about Berlanga until a year ago. There's like Berlanga who.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually another good point on that, Manny. As always, like. That, not just Shakur being embraced or not embraced, but I say for myself, and I would love to hear O'Connell on that, I'm seeing less and less people kind of hit me with that, like, oh, well, are there any good Puerto Rican fighters, or are there any good up-and-coming Puerto Rican fighters like that?
You don't watch boxing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how you could watch boxing even like
YDSK.
partially casual and even utter that sentence or that phrase at all. Like, that ideology seems to pretty much be dissipated or completely gone. Have you still come across that? I know that gets you fired up, but have you still come across people saying that there's no talent out there? That's pretty much dead, right?
I don't let it fire me up. I mean, but yes, I do still hear it. It's just people that are not knowledgeable of the prospects that are coming up. It's just that simple. And it's not just a Puerto Rican thing. I mean, you got Darren Cunningham III at 122. He fights April 3rd. He's a young black man that is talented, super talented. Nobody knows who he is. I'm sure that Hopper has a bunch of Mexicans down there that are young.
Everywhere.
This isn't just a Puerto Rican thing. I just think
I think
overall, people, all they want to do is watch the main famous names. They don't care to watch the prospects, and I think it's sad.
It's very sad.
No, it's definitely
sad.
So
it hurts us too. It hurts me too. Like, especially it's more the casuals. Shout out to the casuals.
Shout out.
When they say stuff like that, oh, well, who has he fought? I'm like, bro, who do you know that he's fought? That's a different question that should be asked.
Why aren't you watching boxing lately?
There's a lot of prospects.
Don't wait until you get a big event. Now everyone's again, Berlanga. Everyone's Xander. Yeah, I mean, he's gotten a big exposure, right? But there's a lot of people, and then there's that debate that that debate that actually people are not from Puerto Rico, or they moved away from Puerto Rico, and it's just one of those things, So, but we're still Puerto Rican no matter what. So I'm gonna go I'm gonna go ahead and touch base with my list. My list is completely different. I get what you guys are saying. I understand your perspective, Cano. For me, prospect more those up and coming. Last list, I didn't have Capu and I didn't have Moncho. They would have been on my list right now, but I think I'm moving them close to contention. They're great boxers. I think they're already for me graduated to this class going into the contention. For me, number 5, I have Omar Rosario. Great natural talent. And he's going to really, his dedication, humble kid and very spiritual, that's going to really help him. The monster, just like you called him, Hunter Polaco, he's my 4th. I got to put him there. He's just a beast, and he's going to dominate, for quite some time.
Shout out to him for wearing our shirt.
I know.
Shout out to him for life, man.
Yeah,
I didn't even wear my shirt.
I know, right?
I don't know why you got him on your
Gringo
list.
over there has.
No, that's not the only reason. I mean, it is part of it.
Did you get ours, Cano?
Hey, Cano wears it hardcore, man. Like when we get the new shorts ordered, Cano, we're gonna get some blue ones. We're gonna make sure to get that out to you.
Cool. And then on my number 3, and this is actually a new one, and it's not that I didn't mention him last. I think I kind of honorable mentioned him last time, but this kid just surprised me a lot, and it's Carlos Purin Carvalho. I mean, honestly, ever since he fought Jesus Martinez, he's been fighting a lot of great top
he beat up
contenders,
Baez, right?
and then he took Leonardo Baez last week.
Beat him
up. I mean, he's natural talent. He's hard puncher, southpaw. At the super bantamweight, I mean, he's got a pretty good shot. I put him in here because I know I'm going to get him out of the prospect soon. I just really want to mention I love him. I love putting him, and I love the
great
everything.
Technical fighter.
Oh no, dude!
I mean,
massive.
he just undressed Baez. Baez had that.
I interviewed him today.
Did you really?
Did you?
Oh, excuse me.
Very nice.
Nice, brother.
Lovely, beautiful.
Oh, I think I did see that. That's right.
Yeah?
That's right. I gave it a like.
Nice. I haven't seen it. I got to check it out though.
Get with the program, man.
I know, God. And then I'm gonna take Xander Zayas, my 2nd. He's probably gonna move number 1 soon. But at number 1 will be Edgar Berlanga. He's gonna be out there soon. I just love the passion. I just love what he's doing right now. I want him to get more and more of rounds coming up in the future. But he's just a sensation right now. He's just Edgar Berlanga, and people really want to see this guy. So I keep him on number 1.
Good list, man.
All right, that was an awesome list. So, cut off.
What happened?
Zoom only had a 40-minute limit. I didn't know until we were going through the meeting, and it told me like,
Cano,
is he still there?
come back, brother.
Well, because our Zoom had some kind of
Zoom. We're trying to do a little
limitation
Zoom meeting
into this, so we kind of lost Cano there. Can you reset it again? Can you start it again?
No, but it's all right.
Send
I mean,
him a
we're
link.
going in good Puerto Rican prospects, and I liked your list, Manny. I really liked
Yeah,
that.
no, I
that
mean,
Carabello one. And you know what? Gringo was right, because I feel 5 is not enough. When I was doing this, I was like, well, crap.
No,
somebody's going to be left out. But definitely Xander wasn't going to be left out. Berlanga wasn't
No.
And then, everything else was just a toss-up.
Exactly, and I think that
It's so
with respect
hard.
to Josue Vargas, with respect to the Adorno brothers, actually, even if none of these guys were in my list, I was still going to take away Adorno. I don't think that last fight was a draw. I didn't see the best of Adorno. Maybe I'm wrong, but I sometimes you have an off day, sometimes it just things happen. I just didn't see that right now, and so for me, when I'm doing a list of the top prospects, I got to be able to see them, being consistent. And these guys, although Berlanga is the only one that's got, more than, 16 fights, right? All knockouts. It's just sensational. If we ever touch base on this list again, he will not be on my list after that.
Yeah. And then one guy that just completely fell off of everybody's list except, I think, Gringo's was Abraham Supernova.
Well, I think Nova, it's more of
he's really contender now?
He's moved to the contender. We kind of did talk about that last time, and I think he's 2 fights from a championship.
Yeah,
I think I don't know what's going to happen after the injury. He's going to take some time to heal.
I think last year, that's what I mentioned. That's why I had him higher than Xander, was because he was right there on the doorstep to a championship fight. So, but man, you really can't go wrong with a lot of these guys, man. Omar Rosario, just a natural fighter.
Yeah, he is. He really is a natural fighter.
And he's kind of close to the money divisions, right? The money division, the welterweight, 147, kind of not too far out from there. He's what, super?
No.
Super
Supernova?
No. Omar Rosario.
Oh no, Omar. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 140. Is it 140?
140 pounds, right? Super lightweight.
Yeah, so that's junior
he's
Walter.
He's right there from the money division. If he takes the next step in his prospect status, he can jump up the division before he has to reach that elite status. It'll probably be in his best benefit to get there before he has to, because that jump from 140 to 147 has made a lot of people blink twice.
Oh yeah. And then you want to make sure that you don't get caught up into that whole, like, you know, kind of Crawford kind of thing. You dominated, you know, the junior Walter. You jumped up to 147 and just career kind of, you know, just kaboom, just went out. I mean, nothing that may not, you know, it's going to get fixed, right? And we'll talk about it later on, Crawford and the possibility of Pacquiao. But you're right, Hopper. I mean, the junior Walter, it's just like it's like a springboard to get you up into the stardom. And interesting enough, because when when we interview even Jose Ramirez back in the day when he was going to start fighting Maurice Hooker, you know, we talked about that, and he said, you know, I dominate the junior Walter, and that's going to really get me on my way into the welterweights, which is, I mean, now it's not the best, to be honest, division. Back in the days it was, but after, you know, heavyweights kind of crashed a little bit. But I think it's coming back, man. Walter's coming back. So we had a lot of Puerto Ricans in that division. You know, very, very talented new prospects, and you know, and right now with the possibility of the new sensation, the local from Grand Prairie, you know, Virgil Ortiz.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to have that very interesting in that. But we're excited about what's going to happen.
A lot of prospects.
A lot of prospect. What's going to happen on April 24th? You cannot miss that fight.
Oh, I'm not missing that fight.
ESPN.
We should link up for that one. We should.
Yeah. I'm not going to go.
You're not going to go. Yeah. So we should link up for that. What do you think?
I don't think I'd find anything.
You down? You down to cook out, chill somewhere? Huh? Maybe go to Bombshells, Bucks Wild.
What is he talking about? Spider.
We can go to.
Can you join the Zoom again? Sorry, we had lost time on my free plan, free 99, and we lost El Cano Loco.
That's why we need some of these sponsors, or we want you to go ahead and like.
I sent them via email.
Just go anywhere you listen to podcasts. We are LongLiveBoxing and EnVivo podcast. It really helps continue to, you know, support the content and everything we're doing with the, you know, in the sport of boxing.
Yeah, and I can't wait, man. That's a super stacked card. April 24th.
But on the other hand, we're going to be at the Canelo
fight. We're all going to be scattered all over the place.
Yeah.
But we'll be in there, though. Hopefully we can apply for credentials. Matchroom's always been good to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have. I think they like Manny a little too much, though. Like, he somehow, even though we're all in the same group, he has some sort of access we don't have.
Shout out to those fans that secretly
how's he on the floor?
Hey,
how's he in the ring? How's he have food?
I'll take some pictures and I'll have a drink. But, you know, sadly enough, though, don't get me wrong, man. It's going to be an exhausting day for me because that morning I'm going to run the half marathon for the Cowtown. I do it every year. Whoa. And, you know, after that, I'm going to try to get some rest. And then after that, I'm going to hit the stadium. I'm going to hit the stadium by 5 o'clock, man. I'm going to get there early. I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. I mean, it's
I'm calling it now.
You might. Hopefully, you can get there earlier.
My bad. I was going to say something really selfish, but I said if you start cramping up, Hopper's got your back.
I got your back. I'll take you home and take your seat.
Yeah, I get your back and I'll lift your feet up.
But maybe
that fool's drunk.
We should definitely tailgate for that fight.
No, definitely. You know, that's one thing that I want to do. It's actually been a dream of mine.
Honestly, we're missing a lot of actions here in Texas, bro. We're getting so many fights.
Because we're poor.
Well,
one
you know, that too, but also the whole freaking COVID.
And I've been out of town for a lot of the
time. And you just got your stimmy.
I just got my first shot yesterday. Yeah.
That arm looks bigger. And that one
does,
man.
You see
that?
And that one's like changing colors.
So. Right, changing colors. Which, by the way, I am sporting something new today.
What is that?
Hopper, you probably would know what I'm talking about. But hi, guys.
Call of Duty?
This is King Impact. He is the #1 kid in Puerto Rico playing Call of Duty Warzone. He's a beast, man. This kid, it's unbelievable. We're talking Outside Boxing. He supports our podcast. I'm actually support his content. Great kid.
He don't want none of my clan.
Nah. Well, let me tell you something. He's doing amazing things. You can check him out, man. It's King Impact 3A's Impact. You can check him out.
I think I've seen you talk about him on Facebook.
Facebook Gaming, and he also has a YouTube channel, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, everything. You can check him out, man, and support his channel. He's a very talented kid. He plays a weird system with his remote control, which is a claw system. Very difficult to do it, but this guy bombs 20,
I got a claw system.
You got a claw. So anyway, shout out to King Impact and EnVivo. Thank you, Bobby.
Cano, are you back?
I've been here, man. It just shows your mic was muted. I couldn't hear you to begin with.
Oh, man, my bad. Well, trust me, I wasn't saying anything important. So apologize for that, but we're going to go ahead and pick back up where we were.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure to get right into it to get to the good stuff. So everybody had given their list, or we were still waiting
we
for you
did.
to
We
get your
finalized my list. I think he did hear it. Omar Rosario, Hunter Polaco, Purin Caraballo, Xander Zayas, and Edgar Berlanga, which we talked about. He'll probably be gone. Maybe if we revise this in the next 6 months.
All right. So, yeah, don't worry about it. I'm going to edit it and make it all clean and make you look good, O'Connell. Yeah. I don't know what I can do about those guys. There's not a lot of hope for them. But to make sure we end things strong, we want to definitely hear your insight as far as
absolutely
April 24th, and also just
talk about the main event. I want to hear his perspective on the main
Don't
event.
let Hopper pressure you.
I'm not.
To talk about the main event.
Respectable, reasonable question. I want to know what he thinks.
Oh my God!
I'm just asking.
You know, I was wondering why. You know what? He was the main one. Said we got to bring O'Connell back, please. Please.
I just want to know what he thinks. What the predictions gonna be.
I can't sleep if he doesn't come back.
We all know Navarrete, and we know the talent, and we know how weird his fight style is.
Super weird.
We did cover
I call
this
him
up,
the,
but
the drunken master.
The drunken master. We wanted to hear your perspective. What does the win with Navarrete mean for Pitufo Diaz? Seriously.
I think it means the world, man. After going through all of the stuff he's been through, man, suffering them 2 losses to now come back to put himself in position to finally fight for a world title again, I think is tremendous. I think this is probably the first time he's going to actually be the buffer guy, the bigger guy going into this fight. Usually he was the smaller guy.
Yes.
So
true.
I think what Navarrete is trying to do, though, is he wants to try to make it a war and not let Pitufo box. I don't believe Navarrete is going to be successful in going to war with Pitufo. I think Pitufo is going to impose his will and is going to instill his game plan to the fullest and the new world
WBO.
You know, he'll definitely have the crowd support. Like the crowd would definitely be there
absolutely
for showing out.
So is that the only support you feel
That's the only credit you heard. He's talking about the crowd. He said none about the boxing. Look at how we're going.
He'll have the fans. I mean,
he'll have the better tracksuit on.
The better tracksuit.
So you had an opportunity to interview him, and he talked a lot of exactly. He talked a lot about the new Pitufo and some of the things you guys covered as well. He almost quit boxing and a lot of stuff. How did you see him, and what did he mean by the new Pitufo? This time is different.
That's a good question.
More focused. Before he wasn't as focused as he should have been. He took some of these fights, not really being ready for him, like the Shakur fight and stuff like that. Yeah. And that's part of the game. He doesn't blame anybody. He got to blame himself for that stuff. And now that he's got a new crack at life, so to say.
Even got a business and everything. Very successful detail.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hiring people.
He started that by himself, and now he's got employees under him. So
nice. Is he the one that's best friends with Valdez, or am I getting confused?
No, that's
him, right?
That's the only. Yeah.
See, I knew there was a Mexican connection in there somewhere. I knew there was a. That's why I kind of like Pitufo.
His caring is so transparent. Like, why does he care? Oh, there's a Mexican involved.
He picked Valdez to win that fight, by the way. You know that, right?
Yeah. Pretty
good.
Hell of a pick.
What do you think about this?
That is a hell of a pick.
Elcano, like and I'll go ahead and put it out there. I'm always gonna want the best man to win, and I love I usually lean towards the boxer. But the thing about Navarrete, because he's so awkward, so quirky, and does so many things that are unpredictable, it does make it challenging. Now, my little watered down theory is that to beat him, right, the drunken master, that you have to have power. Do you feel like Pitufo Diaz has enough power to get the respect to do the work he needs to as far as using his boxing IQ?
Definitely. No, definitely. He's going to be the bigger guy going into that fight. Then that's not usually the case with him, you know. He may not be taller, but he's going to be more fuller. He's
more
going to be
broad.
more stocky. Yeah, that's what I mean by bigger, not the taller, but you know, no, he feels good at this weight. He feels good at this weight, and he can easily make 122, which was he was trying to fight Castro at 122, but that fight fell through. Not to no fault of Pitufo. You know, a lot of people thought I was crazy when I was mentioning that, but I wasn't mentioning anything that him and his coach weren't telling me behind the scenes, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, okay, y'all don't believe me, but this Coach Nelson told me this.
Right.
Pitufo told me this, so I don't know. I don't get it.
And it was weird kind of knowing that. I know he was going after a title, and I think that title was the same one that Navarrete, gave in when he moved up, relinquished when he moved up. So it made sense to go out there and say, let me try it. I can make the weight. And he would be a very strong, contender for that matter, but it just didn't happen. I think I was pretty excited to do that. Do you feel that Pitufo Diaz right now, it's the best 126-pounder right now there is in Puerto Rico? Because there's a lot of other ones, but there are actually a few of them that they don't feel that way. Is there anyone else better than Pitufo Diaz? And I know we got your buddy there, Cano Gonzalez.
Well, that's a tough one.
Look, I love Cano Gonzalez. I think he's actually the better all-around fighter. More complete. But Pitufo's fighting for a title. You got to say he's the best one right now because he's fighting for a title.
Right. Against the boogeyman.
You know, I love Cano Gonzalez, and I know that he's going to get where he needs to get. But you're asking me this question today, and today, Pitufo's fighting for a title. You got to respect that, and you got to lean towards that. No matter how much I love, Cano, you have to be truthful with it.
That's a great point, man.
What do you think about Brian Chari Chevalier? Which I know he did. He had a phenomenal performance against Carlos Zambrano. All right, and he is arguably after the fight, they interview him, and he said, "I'm not showing respect or whatever, but I am the best 126, and I want the winner of that."
But he's been saying that forever, but he's not the best 126. I don't think he's even close to being the best 126. I love him to death. He's Puerto Rican and stuff. He's from the projects. He's gonna talk like that. I mean, he's gonna talk.
He's
like
playing
that,
the game, so you feel he's playing the game because he's got a lot of people supporting him. But I noticed that he's got a lot of haters right behind him. Maybe because of the way he projects and feels like I am not respecting others who are arguably, like you said, having an opportunity right now, and you're absolutely right. If you talk about it right now, Pitufo has to be the best, although if he's not ranked above, he's got the opportunity to become a world champion. Even ahead of Jesus Rojas, which is actually 8th on the WBA too.
Yeah. I don't know. Chari Chevalier, I don't know, man. Look, he can fight. He can fight. There's no question in my mind he can fight. He's proven that. I just don't think over Pitufo and Cano, no. I just don't see it, man. Look, I put it to you like this, just to give you an analysis. If Cano was to fight Chevalier right now, Cano would get rid of him in 3 or 4 rounds.
Man.
Interesting.
That's strong.
Man, that was strong.
We did see a pretty strong Brian last time. I know we did say that. You
see how skinny he is, though.
Yeah, he is, though.
Take them body shots.
Yeah, he is. He is
Negative.com, sir.
He is. He has gotten skinny.
He's no. Wow.
Interesting.
People are going to take it the wrong way, but
it's your perspective. I mean, you're still a fan too, and you're entitled to say what respecting, of course, the sport, respecting the hard work that these guys put behind the scenes. We're going to comment what we feel, what we see.
Yeah, and also to your point on Cano and what you're saying, Manny, that if he knows, I mean, clearly he's going to actually, to get in the ring, you have to have a certain edge, cockiness to it, and you got to believe. Regardless of where you're from.
Any athlete,
I mean, that's just kind of the way it is. But if you're also seeing it from the outside looking in, if you see these guys, I mean, one guy's fighting for a title, one guy's clearly got a lot of talent and a lot of support behind him. I need to do something to circumvent that by making a name for myself. What can I do? Embrace myself as being the villain or the anti to them, being not them. And, just basically calling them out until I get my opportunity. And if I rise, I rise. But if I fall, at least I put my opportunity my best foot forward. So, I mean, I respect to him, But yeah, I love your comments. But you're saying if he fought Kapu would be, you say 3?
3 or 4. No
3 or
longer
4.
than that, man. And listen, man, I love Chatty also, man. He can fight.
Oh, he
man.
does.
He got a lot of heart, but
a lot of heart.
man, if I'm sitting here breaking down style for style,
I think style, also dedication, also as well. I mean, I don't want to say that he's on a different level, but when you look at how the business mentality that Capo has taken his career, it's more than just a career. So it's my business, and he has done everything possible on the nutrition side, hire the right individuals to get him to that start elite level and remain there. Right? I'm not saying that Cherry's not doing that, but you can see the difference right now, and I wish him well to both of them, especially right now. You know, the lack of fighters that were not able to fight through this pandemic, and you know, thank God, you know, we talked about it. The only guy that was bringing some cards out there, Miguel Cotto, and you know, all the other people he's got in his stable, along with Ring City USA. NBC Sports Network's bringing us a lot of fights, a lot of action every Thursday. Unfortunately, last week was the last Thursday. But out of the four series they had, 3 of them were in Puerto Rico. It started in Guaynabo City. Then after that, they moved on to El Albergue Olímpico in Salinas, and they finalized the series in La Plaza Centenario in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Yeah. Cano, what can you tell us about about finally having great boxing on Thursdays and showcasing the local talent boxing, especially from Miguel Cotto Promotions?
Man, I thought it was great, man. They kept changing the locations and stuff. This last Thursday, they did it in San Juan. They had the ring next to the beach, man. Nice. It was a beautiful sight. Look, whoever missed those fights, I got most of those fights uploaded on my channel under full fights. So this last Thursday, I got the most important fights in there uploaded on there in case anybody missed it. But I like it. It's bringing a lot of attention to fighters, not just Puerto Rican fighters, though. Mind you, you know I'm Puerto Rican, but I got to be completely fair. There's the Ring City USA is throwing cards everywhere. The next one I think is going to be in West Point.
The first one was in California. I forgot what was it. Modesto, the first one.
They're giving opportunities to like the middle of the pack promoters, not the because they don't have network TV deals. And then Showbox is only so limited. So they get the opportunity to come here on Ring City.
And by the way, if you don't have NBC Sports Network, it's okay. Just go to Twitch. Right, just create an account at Twitch and follow them on Twitch. And boy, I they didn't show the afternoon cards. It started at 5:00, which I mean, dude, that scenery right there you were just talking about. I mean, no one ever. I mean, I was hoping to see Tito Acosta, coming back, right? But he wasn't on the main, main cards in NBC Sport Network. But I was able to really enjoy these kind of stuff, and all you got to do is download the app. And so I'm glad that we're seeing different networks jumping in and allowing some of the the fans to enjoy sometimes what we can enjoy. And honestly, main cards are great. But you're going to see a lot of great things on the undercards and then even in the prelims.
Every fight's going to be they match them so tough.
Yeah. Who from any of the fights that you've seen? I know that we had our own Amanda Serrano. But what was the fight that really blew you away from this whole series, 3 series that they did in Puerto Rico?
Carlos Caraballo, one of the guys you just put on your list. My goodness, man. This guy displayed great boxing skills. He could show that he could bang. He showed he could box. Great movement. Was throwing uppercuts from different angles that you normally don't see people throw it. Like there was that one of them rounds where he led with the uppercut. Who does that? Mm-hmm. It's like and he landed it too. And I'm like, this guy's really, really put in the work. Yeah. He's actually had some spar work with Ivan Calderon, and he said that helped him a lot, man. He showed him a lot of little tricks.
He was the commentator on that fight.
And let me tell you something. Some of you guys don't know. Some of you guys don't know, but Leonardo Baez, a lot of people are like, oh, who's that Mexican? Leonardo Baez has fought against Jason Maloney. He has fought a lot of great boxers within that division, so it wasn't anyone that it was just thrown out there just to get him up and running.
One of the Baez twins,
exactly. Yeah. So
very
this
tough
is
opponent, man.
They are tough
because he would not go down.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. So he's got a bright future. I'm really excited for him. I think him and Tito Acosta, great to see him back. Unfortunately for me, my biggest disappointment, Machado. He was boxing beautifully. He came back real strong. I was like, this is a different Machado.
When Fierro
came in, and this is, and I get it, man.
Short notice too. Short notice.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Short notice. You're not trained to really,
It's even harder than the opponent that you have.
Well, you don't know about it. You're just probably trying to
be training for a southpaw, and then all of a sudden you get an orthodox or vice versa.
What were your thoughts about that fight and his comeback? And would he be able to really come back again and contend in the future for another world title?
No.
Yeah, he's lost.
He's going to have to learn.
Already.
So no, not today.
He was winning this fight.
He was.
He was.
No, knocked him out 3 times.
Easy. Yeah,
3 rounds.
This is the problem I see with fighters like that. This is why I say no. They can't help themselves. They're always going to revert to that. Once you saw that you knocked this dude a couple of times down and he was not going to stay down, that's when you're supposed to step off the gas and resort to your boxing skills to coast to a win. When you don't know how to flip that switch and do that, I hate to say it, but our boy, what's his name?
Verdejo.
Yeah,
that's the same
thing.
Verdejo.
Yeah.
And man, unless you learn how to flip that switch, you're not gonna make it. Because man, that's all he had to do was box. Verdejo and Nakatani.
Yeah, because
all he had to do was box once he saw that he wasn't going.
If you know they're not gonna get knocked out.
Yeah, and those are the little things that they seem easy to do when you're looking from the outside, but it's so hard for them to do it when they're in there. Their instinct kicks in and they just want to keep going and going and going. And I just don't see a way to fix that. It's just a habit. It's a bad habit, and I just don't see it. My disappointment was Abimael Ortiz losing.
Abimael Ortiz, what is it? One of the twins.
The Bias twins, the
Bias twins. I was expecting a little bit more from him. I know his brother came in.
No, but that Bias twin, he's better than the other one. So he's way more technical.
Listen, I think it was too much for Abimael. I don't know why they threw him in there with him.
Yeah, and especially with that
throw
guy,
somebody in there with 18, 19 fights, and Abimael only had 8 fights going into that fight. Like, I don't understand what their reasoning was in bringing somebody that young in there with somebody so experienced.
Yeah,
I mean, unless they, wouldn't, which you would know better than I would. But as far as matchups that they saw a huge flaw that could be exploited, that clearly didn't work out in their favor. As far as
that's not what it is, man. I'm gonna tell you what it is. Cotto is really big on this. He likes to put fighters in there, sink or swim. He doesn't like wasting time with fighters, bro.
Shark Tank.
Yeah.
That's really what it is, but I still don't get it. I mean, I understand that, but could you at least put him with somebody equal to him instead of putting him somebody like way superior than him?
Right.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And I wasn't aware of that was his mindset. I mean, obviously he's a warrior, so that's how from a fan standpoint, and obviously we want the prospects to have a chance to develop. Does that kind of discourage you from people, maybe signing with him, or how does that kind of make you, feel about, it is what it is, or, that's
most of the time he puts him with somebody equal, somebody that, it's a 50-50 fight. I don't mind that, and the fighters don't mind that, but this one here wasn't a 50-50 fight.
Yeah,
right.
You get the difference, and I've never seen him do that before, so
maybe he thought that high of him.
Yeah, like it could be a miscalculation.
That's just a slight.
Well, I mean, I
messed up
because not only
Cotto can mess up.
Well, not only Cotto is doing that. I think Top Rank at times they're doing that, and they were just about
to matchmaking goes
yeah,
wrong
well, they were about to do that with the little Pequeño Gigante, little Fabián González. They were going to match him with Brian Lua, which arguably he had a much better. He had 7-0, very powerful. And I get Fabián. Fabián will be probably my list. I didn't mention him, but he'll probably
didn't even mention him, right?
Yeah, no, I got him at about 6 or 7. Once these guys are starting to go contention, he'll probably jump in my list. But I mean, I think it has to do kind of with the fact that these guys want to showcase themselves and they want to try to move up in rank and bringing these high level talented, like what they're doing right now, the Berlanga. A lot of people claiming, first rounds. Listen, he wants to get more rounds. Problem is the opponents are not. We get it, right?
The opponents' chins don't.
You want to give them a better opponent now. They do that, and all of a sudden that's what happened. So it's one of those things, man, that I don't think you can definitely blame the promotion company, but I think there has to be a little bit more analyzing the opponent based on the style and the boxer that you currently have. And if it's not a good match, although yes, if they get a victory, that will actually continue to move them up in ranks a little bit faster in contention for a title. But still, the matchmaking, I think, and I would hate to be a matchmaker in a promotion company.
I would love it.
But you would love it?
I will say this, though, man, if you don't mind. I think Abimael is going to be okay. I think he'll bounce back from that. He fought his behind off. You know what I mean? He couldn't have fought no better than what he did.
Well, he came back. I think he didn't let go of his hands at the beginning, and he was getting hit a lot, and he was relying on the defense, which he's got a great defense, but still, we did see a lot of these punches land, pretty hard. And so
I think he'll be okay though.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
Yeah, though one loss is not the end.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, if we can recognize that, oh well, it's just some opportunity to grow. So you win and you learn. You don't win and lose, and you can grow for that. And he can see it as an opportunity to kind of build on his skill set and get stronger. Then he'll be much better for it. It's all about what you do. It's what you take from that opportunity, and how you build yourself up from it.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is that Puerto Rico is witnessing a lot of new. Talented, and I know for a fact we're gonna start getting a lot of fights out there at the island.
I would love.
Are you planning to hit the island soon, Cano?
No, I'm trying to travel as little as possible. Actually, I'm trying to travel as little as possible.
And you're in Florida, Cano?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
What fight? I'm gonna go ahead and put it on wax.
Put it on wax.
Because we want El Cano here in Texas. What fight would it take for you to come here, sir, to come to Texas and party with the EnVivo boys? Nothing?
Spence versus Crawford.
That's it?
Who? Spence versus Crawford?
We're going to get that signed this week.
Well,
this week.
You ain't coming anytime soon then, brother.
So you're never coming.
So you're never coming.
Let's just say I'm never going to Texas.
All right, well, it was worth the try.
Just say you don't want to come, El Cano. Damn.
I know, right? Damn. We
belong on the ground. I don't like getting on the airplane. If I can't drive to the location, I'm not going.
What part of Florida are you at?
22 hours away.
Jacksonville.
You're in Jacksonville?
Yeah, 22 hours away,
okay.
nonstop.
Oh man, you know how many Whataburgers you'd hit?
I used to live in Killeen.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, nice.
Perfect.
Killeen.
Hey. Oh man, okay.
Cool. And I drove from Killeen to Florida.
Okay.
Nice. I was in Florida like 2 weeks ago or last week. It was in Destin.
Hey, I do not like flying. My feet belong on the ground.
On the ground.
I feel you, brother. I hate flying myself.
That's
man,
where
I'm
we
a
want
little
you to, brother.
claustrophobic.
That's definitely where we want you to.
But no, this was a great episode.
This is great, guys.
Thank you for coming on, Cano. You're
Yeah.
amazing as usual.
We need Cano Loco Sports. Follow him. Where,
Keep
Cano, where
going.
they can follow you?
Cano Loco Sports on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Fans only.
Cano Loco Sports. Man, with the fans only, that's for the ladies.
Fans only.
Oh, man, he got the new mic. Look at him.
I thought you had a fans only account. My bad.
Members only. He's got a members only jacket.
And his
totally
YouTube
different.
channel
There
is
is a members on my
booming.
channel.
YouTube channel is booming as well.
Not fans
This
only.
guy's-
I'm just kidding.
That's me.
Kano, I had to throw a jab in there.
Yeah,
Didn't
this
let
guy-
you get out there with that.
Oh, my God.
This guy's doing amazing things, and we're
Yes,
going to close the
much
show, but we
respect.
want you to close the show the way you always close your show. Here at the EnVivo podcast, always say adios, and Cano Loco says what?
With all that being said, Cano Loco Sports, I'm out.
Hey!